I have messages. I have lots of messages, but things have been so wild in the world that I really couldn't ground myself enough to really deliver a message. But ready or not, I feel like I need to connect again. I will say that I have so many messages. I'm going to take the most current ones. But when I was driving my son to school, he was having a really hard time with the energy. He's a Sagittarius, and he's very sensitive, and he picks up on stuff, but he doesn't really know what it is. And I was trying to explain to him, like in child language, like what's going on and how it affects him, but it was really difficult to do. And I got a message from my angels when I was trying to figure out the right words, and what they were saying was that if you ever want to go over a plan or an idea that you have, excuse me, think about how you would explain it to a kid. And if it's not checking out and it doesn't seem like something you can safely explain to a kid, even with like all their follow-up questions, then it's probably not a good plan. Ask a kid is my advice. Okay, so I got some messages through music. The first song that came to mind was Black Celebration, which I do get that message a lot. But particularly the line, to celebrate that we've seen the back of another black day. And yes, I think we can all relate to that. That there's a lot of shadow elements coming out right now, and it's really just coming out so that we can clear it out and really just build something new that works for everyone. So then I heard that song Daydream Believer from the Monkees, and the line that Spirit wanted me to focus on was, I could hide beneath the wings of a bluebird as she sings. And I truthfully think that was about me, but and delivering the message and how God works through us. And sometimes, when you feel like you're losing your faith because nothing is surfacing that is equivalent to the amount of effort that you put in, it can shake your faith. And that's when God shows up through other people to speak to us, which is why every single person that you come across is so important, and they're all to be treated equally, until they give you a reason to think otherwise, because God works through people, and it's usually not the people that you'd think. And just yesterday I heard a tarot reading that brought me back a little bit from the brink, because I was feeling exhausted, just like, Ten of Wands exhausted. I've been exhausted, and I think you guys are probably feeling that too. And I'm kind of all over the place because it's been a while, but I just wanted to make sure that I got some of this out, and then I really want to do this more. So The Heat Is On, that song from the 80s, Glenn Frey, I think it's called, his name is. That was another song, and it was, tell me, can you feel it? The heat is on, it's on the street. The pressure's high just to stay alive. Caught up in the action, I've been looking out for you. And then the shadows hide on the darker side. Can you feel it? And I think that, that is just about what is going on in the world right now. The shadow showing itself. Can you feel it? And then I got this image, which I'll just show you real quick, of this pyramid right here. And I'm always showing this pyramid, but this time, instead of it being, open at the top, it was very dark at the top. And see the stars that shine above. So basically, it's this top-down sort of I just heard trickle down, effect where it's really, really dense and low vibrational here up at the top currently, the majority. And then it gets lighter and lighter towards the bottom, which is kind of the opposite of what I was seeing. And so I feel like right now is the point where we can't really see the light peeking out from the darkness, but it's going to keep getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And as it infiltrates more people, then the overall lightness is going to just bring up the vibe of the planet. All right, so I also just want to say to the archangels and my ancestors and the highest God and the Holy Spirit to protect the collective of love and light, protect their chakra system, protect their auric fields, and please protect mine as well. During this reading, we are only offering in love, light beings for these messages for the collective. So let's just see what comes out. So I am a little rusty. I've just been doing readings for myself. And so let's see. So I'm trying to do this even though, feel kind of right? But we'll see. I'm just going to do my best and, progress over perfection. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm here today because of the other tarot readers on YouTube who inspire me. Actually, a lot of content creators on YouTube inspire me. Truth be told, after I had my daughter, the tragedy at Sandy Hook happened, very shortly after she was born. And I was so disturbed by that. I couldn't hold the idea of sending your child to school to be slaughtered with having this infant that I loved so much and that I had to protect. I couldn't hold those two ideas in my head. So I just stopped watching the news for 12 years. I didn't watch the news. Truth be told, yeah. And I just started watching the news again. 5 months ago, and boy, wow, there was no learning curve there. All right, so we got victory, the thinking man, the world, and yin and yang. So victory, and I think this is a victory for the collective, a light victory. We've got the thinking man. I have been thinking a lot about, masculine, divine masculine, and healed masculines, and people that have their feminine masculine side sort of in balance, and how wonderful that is. And, men that are able to do that, or women, and I think that I've been seeing that. That's what I see more than anything are people, light workers in the government here in the US and in other countries, shining their light without fear. And to me, that is so inspiring. And I think the world needs more of that balance. This is what just came out. Yeah. It's hard for little boys to cry. That just came through. It's hard for men to cry. They should cry. They should feel more comfortable crying than getting angry. That's important, and I'm not even going to try to polish that up. I'm just going to say what comes out, because if I start critiquing myself, I'll never come back on here. So, all right, let's see what comes out. All right, I already shuffled the heck out of these, so I don't really need to do too much. Guides, what messages do we have for the collective? Yeah, I've been so inspired by other content creators. I've been working through some crazy things, and yeah, there have been some moments where I'm just like, my gosh, this person has God working through them. I see it in them. And it is so inspiring, and it is so much stronger. The illumination of a bright soul is so powerful. It really can light up a very dark space. Judgment. Yeah, I think that a lot of people are calling judgment on, people looking the other way and being silently complicit with things that are hard to look at. And that starts within ourselves. I have definitely been grappling with that too. That's the challenge, is making people want to see things that aren't humane, that aren't natural, and that are, when I say not natural, things that you're not even meant to be able to absorb or understand. We're really having to rise to that, and not from a place of judgment, but from a place of, we're judging as a collective that this is not healthy, and we must reverse this. And we have to bring all the people with us that are willing to come to the light. And so we have to really, really, and this is coming through really strong, try not to fall into that trap of duality and, bipartisanship or finger pointing. Because that's your shadow when you do that. It's one thing to say, no, this isn't going to work. It's another thing to enjoy, excuse me, my throat chakra, like ridiculing people and being like pious above people. Like, I'm better than you, that's wrong. Like, that's when you kind of lose sight of how fragile we all are and how easy it is to fall into those dark places. It's easier to fall into those places sometimes than it is to rise to the light. So that's the challenge, is just being able to see these things and then not slip into fear or fear, because that's really where the harsh judgment comes from. All right. Usually I like for them to flip out, but because I have to get something done and I wanted to do this first, I'm going to do it a different way, and I'm just going to, so in the past we have Queen of Cups, and I will say that I do think that in the collective there's been a disproportionate amount of responsibility when it comes to doing shadow work. It's been falling on the shoulders of the feminine collective. Because of conditioning and because of biology and because of all sorts of other things, but we're evolving, and we all have to embrace this, the qualities of the Queen of Cups, which is a balanced, emotional, I wanted to say ecosystem, I'll keep that, balanced emotions, being able to feel the emotions, accept other people's without judgment, and really coming from a place of nurturing and love. That's what's happening right now. And that's why, people are willing to shine their light right now, because they're leaning into that. So let's see. Let's set the focus here. Or strength, weakness of the collective. 10 of Wands, yeah. We've already come, we've just finished a ton. There's tragedies every day with the climate and wildfires. I'm not going to remind everybody because we hear a lot about that. And focusing on that can make you feel like you have so much weight on your back that you can't do anything. And that's kind of where I've been residing. It's just processing and figuring out what do I do? And you absolutely have to start with yourself. Even if you feel so pulled to perform, I have an opportunity, I have to seize it, if you do that from a place that isn't healed and isn't balanced and grounded, then you may make more of a mess than anything, and you have more work to do. So this is where we are. We have to be kind to ourselves so that we can be kind to other people. So the planet has been through that. The planet has really suffered. We have suffered as a collective. I said things have not been fair. I said that a while ago. And it's starting to show. 3 Cups is in the future. And this is the people, the coalitions, the people that are coming together, turning away from fear, turning into love, and saying, we can do this. We can do this together. We can reverse this. People are fighting so hard to hold on to these systems that have been so damaging and so in the shadow because they're afraid. They're afraid of losing these systems that they feel reliant on because they don't have this authentic, sincere, truthful, loyal relationships with other people. This is what it's about. Sharing, caring, communicating, looking out for each other, not just worrying about your offspring like we're cavemen, worrying about the collective and the life and the planet that we're leaving behind for others. That's where we are. Seven of Cups. It's like, where do I start? I thought this was I thought it was the economy, but it turns out it's this. I mean, it's like, I said it the other day, I don't know the word, I'm forgetting, is it barushka? But you know those Russian dolls where you open them and there's another doll and another? It's like that. It's like, I thought this was the problem, but no, it's this and that. And then the system that's to check that is also broken. You know, yeah, I get that. That is okay. That's okay. We're just taking it day by day. One day at a time, working on what's in front of you, starting with yourself and the people closest to you, and then picking the thing that you care about the most, or in some cases the thing that pisses you off the most, and just working at it, being honest about working at it. We are so far from perfect, and we need to understand that we are not gods. We're people. Knight of Wands. Yeah, so like this is what we're fighting against. And I was just doing this. I was yelling at my phone about something, arguing with my phone as I do. It's like you see all this and you want to rush in. You want to rush in with judgment and go, whoa, this is, time out. Like, let's dismantle and throw everybody out. It's like, this is where we're at right now. And this is like the fire and air thing. That's no good. It's like, lead from love. Love is slower. Not from judgment, not from anger, not from fear, but in what can we salvage here? And what do we need to look at? And first, let's look within ourselves, because none of this stuff happened in a vacuum. So I think that a lot of us did not want to see what was there, including me. Our hopes, our fears. Yeah, Nine of Wands. And that's so apropos, because really, we all know, I believe very strongly that this is the beginning of the new world, and that there's going to be a lot more love and light. But it's going to take time. We're going to take it day by day, but it's going to take time. And regardless of the outcome, it's going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be a fight, but it's going to be challenging, because we want to stay out of this Knight of Wands, but we also have to be willing to look at what's going on, and we know it's going to be work, and we all feel like we haven't had a break in so long. Here in this country, maybe not since 2001. It's been like one thing after the next, and I know Like, I didn't watch the news for over a decade, so, but I know that it's been like this for everyone. So yeah, we're afraid of it, but it's like there's no going back now. Okay, so these just popped out, so I know that that's what Spirit wanted. Strength for the outcome. Strength, the Magician, and Eight of Cups. We have to be strong. We cannot give up now. It's getting darker before it gets lighter. We must alchemize this. We must somehow take some really ugly stuff and transmute it into a positive change for the future. And we absolutely must not be complicit with things that are not sustainable and that we wouldn't want to explain to a kid. If your plan isn't something that you would want to explain to a kid regarding their future and how we're spending the money that is allotted for this planet, or how we're making decisions and policies that will affect them in the future, what judges we put where, what laws we have, how we enforce them, etc. If we can't explain that to a kid and feel good about it, then it's not the right plan. There's a lot we're going to have to walk away from. Eight of Cups. But we're walking towards something. We can't see it yet because it hasn't been created. So we have to be brave. We have to use our voices. And maybe that means that not everybody can have all the information. Maybe that means that you have to really assess what's going on around you before you share your next moves with people. Maybe you need to be really careful about who you have around you or who you put in office. Even though we don't have a lot to choose from, if we don't like the system, we need to work on that. If we need more choices, we need to work on that. If we understand that there's an interest to keep us at odds with each other, regardless of what year it is or what's going on with the economy, then we need to look at that a little bit closer. So yes, this is the card that's typically associated with being shady and manipulation. But I sometimes look at this as a card of strategy, about being very discerning, about what you decide to listen to and accept and really take in as truth, where you're getting your information, and who you decide to share it with. And this is about personal stuff. When it comes to the public, we need to talk about things that we all know are there. We cannot suppress that. That isn't what I mean. I just mean be really careful about who you build with, because there is strength in numbers, and let's not forget that. There's a very small percentage of people that are welcome to join the greater, much, much greater majority in moving forward. But we aren't going to be operating under the illusion that a very small percentage is in charge of this whole planet, because it's just not logical and it's an illusion. So I think that's what this means. And I'm just going to leave it there and just say thank you so much for the people who show up consistently, because I watch it and I need it, and it's really gotten me through. And I have a lot of admiration and respect for people who show up on their podcasts, on their channels, regardless of what kind of day they're having or what's going on in their life. They show up imperfect, not knowing what's going to come out, not knowing how to frame what's going on around us. They show up anyway. I think that's so beautiful. And I just have so much love for you guys. I have so much love for you. And I just want everyone to know that. I just hope you have a good day and stay safe, and I'll be back again soon.